Hello, everybody. This is Emmett's page. I recently created a documentary about Sonic Fans One's The Hedgehog Show series, and I have Sonic Fans One himself with me right now to answer a few questions. How are you, Sonic Fans One, today?
Hello, Emmett. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I saw earlier today, like 11 hours ago, when I saw it, you uploaded a Sonic Frontiers mod video. Do you schedule your uploads using YouTube's like schedule feature, or do you just upload them on the fly?
Yeah, most of the time I'll upload them on the fly just because it's easier for me personally, and because I just don't like keeping people waiting, It's just how I am.
Well, that was sort of an off the cuff question. That's not actually on my list, but I guess I can start with some of the more the ones that are on my list here. So which Sonic character is your favorite?
Oh, let's just make it easier on myself and not pick Sonic right off the bat because if you ask me, that's a little too obvious. If you want to ask me my secondary favorite character, Tails is easily my favorite.
That's a little bit surprising to me. I thought it would have been like Shadow, or I know it sounds kind of generic, but I've kind of expected Shadow or Silver since they appear in the Hedgehog show.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand where you're coming from with that, but for me, the reason, as you probably already, I think you saw my I've told you already that my videos weren't original. They're inspired by a couple of YouTubers that I've watched over the years when I was like back already still in middle school at the time.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay. So what is your favorite Sonic game? It can be any of them. And if you want, you can separate it from like classic and modern.
I'm gonna separate it from a couple of categories. Let's start with Sonic first Sonic game I ever got.
Mm-hmm.
The first Sonic game I ever got was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube. And if you feel like it, I can go into how what got me into Sonic in the first place.
Um, I mean, sure, if you want. I can talk about my Sonic experience. I started playing Sonic on my dad's GameCube. I think the first Sonic game I played was just Sonic Adventure on GameCube, the DX version, which I've heard online is just sort of notoriously shit. But I could buy the PC port and get that one mod that makes it like the Dreamcast version if I really wanted to. But it's whatever.
All right. For me, it wasn't the video games at first. Back in the day, we had I don't know why, but me and my brothers used to be into Yu-Gi-Oh at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and there we had this Yu-Gi-Oh DVD, and when I put it in for the first time, I saw this ad for Sonic X, and I'm like, hmm, this looks like my kind of style of like things I would like to watch. A little bit later, my dad got me a copy of Sonic X DVD. I think it was episodes like 4 and 5. And then early later on, I would get a copy of Sonic Adventure 2 for my GameCube, and I never went back since.
For me, it was I watched Sonic X as a kid as well, and I remember my parents ordering or not ordering, but at Walmart when Redbox was still like a big thing. They had a Redbox machine at our Walmart, and they got Sonic X on Redbox, and we just never returned it. I think it's still in a CD case somewhere. I don't
That's
remember what
funny.
episodes it is, but
That's interesting. I've seen red box machines still floating around where I live in my neck of the woods, but yeah, I don't see people using those types of things nowadays. It's all nowadays it's streaming. In fact, I don't know how long ago it was. I tried rewatching Sonic X Dub on Netflix. I couldn't get past the third season without being like, God, this is bad.
I think it's just the dub. I don't want to. I'm not a big like anime snob. I don't really give a shit about like dubs or subs. But I think when it comes to the 4 Kids dubs, those are like objectively worse in every single way.
I completely agree. I would like to see like seasons 1 and 2 as dub like music change with the Japanese soundtrack. That would be cool.
So, do you remember what the original Gonic the Hedgehog design looked like? Because I remember in your first update video, I think you called it the plot episode, where Sonic is just sort of talking to the viewer. He mentions that you redesigned Gonic to have half of his looks and half of Sonic's looks. Do you know like what was Gonic the Hedgehog as a character? Like, what did he look like?
I can explain to you who he was. He was just a recolor of Sonic painted green. The Gonic name was just Sonic, but the G being the color green.
Not
That's
gonna
who
lie,
made it.
I kind of expected that, but I was also sort of hoping that maybe because I noticed that Taz is that's what Gonic turned into. Taz has certain design elements that I thought maybe Gonic would have had, considering the half of his looks, half of his original looks kind of deal.
I don't remember what I meant by that. I have a horrible memory, so I do not remember what I said there. Why I typed that into Speakonia. If I had to think about my thought process, maybe I was going to maybe give him some more of Sonic's like color schemes into the green color scheme, but maybe later on I decided to go all red and just do what you did. Where his top spike is Sonic's, his middle quill is Shadow, and his bottom quill was Silver's.
And I have a question about that specifically, but we'll get into that. That's like the next question, basically. So was Taz intended to be a more important character in the episodes following his debut?
So yeah, I do not remember at all where I was going with him. I in episode 4 I wrote him because I honestly forgot. So I was like, oh crap, maybe I should put a joke here about where Taz is. So I just screw it. I'll put him on top of the Hollywood sign as a joke, saying I'm the king of the world, as a Titanic reference. I'm guessing.
Oh, that's a little bit sad because I'm a big fan of Taz and I you clearly watched the video essay, you know about my little Taz theory.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't have any questions related to that because I don't want to spoil anything for myself if you somehow do think that like Taz and Slash are two different people, but that's something I'd rather you get into in your own series than you just like talk about here.
I don't mind going about it here because I really don't mind. They're the same person. I'm
Ah.
planning an entire remake of my entire series because I do not like at all how I formatted it. Most of the videos were completely written off the cuff with no planning or scripting whatsoever, so they come disjointed and messy.
I don't really write scripts a lot either, so the whole video essay, that thing's like an hour and a half long. That's completely unscripted.
Impressive that you made it that coherent. I'm impressed. If we're gonna go off topic a little bit here, let me tell you about my reaction to your video in the first place.
Okay, all
So,
right.
YouTube notifications let me know when you put my user tag into a video. So when you did that, I got notified about it immediately, and you should have seen my face. I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, someone made a video of my crappy sprite animations from back in the day.
Well, you should have seen my reaction when me and Thick rediscovered it because I've been looking for because I watched the Hedgehog Show when I was like a kid. I watched it when I was like 6 or 5 years old on my little like HP laptop, and I vividly remember them going he ho he ho he ho. But the only episode that like visually I very much remembered was the Silver buys a Wii because I remember them being in the kitchen. But that like I was so happy when we finally like rediscovered that whole thing because I had been looking for that for years and I was kind of like doubting if it even existed or not.
Yeah, the only thing that changed was my username. I'm never going to delete those videos because they still get viewed a little bit every now and then, and they are, for what you said, some people's childhood, which honestly to God makes me humbled that you say that. I appreciate that.
I mean, like, a lot of them are dated now, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the video essay, it's clear that I noticed the improvement as they go on. Like, it becomes a lot funnier, especially episode 6. I found really funny. There were a lot of great moments in that.
Well, thank you. There's an interesting story behind episode 6 if you want to know more about that later.
That is, I have a couple of questions about it later, but we can just ask the next question. So, in the original Taz design, his head spines shared the color of the three main hedgehogs. Was there ever like a lore reason for this that we never got to see?
Nope, just felt like it.
Okay, because when me and Thick saw that, we were like, we were thinking maybe he was like some weird clone or something. But if it's just to be cool.
I was like, I don't know, maybe like 13 or 15 when I made that, and I thought he just looked cool. No lore reason behind it, and if I ever did, I don't remember, but probably not. When I was making my redesign, the first redesign, because like I said, Gonic was originally just a green Sonic recolor, which is not at all uh original in the slightest. I changed it in the first place because I saw another YouTuber who already did all that at the time. That design was just me coming off the cusp of, crap, maybe I should give him a redesign because Green Sonic isn't exactly original. So yeah, that's what I went with. I went with like a hybrid color design for like Taz. I think the name Taz was gotten because I don't know. I just thought full name Tasmanian Devil.
To be honest, and I don't mean to sound rude, I think that Taz is a better name than Slash, you know? I feel like.
The name is not even used anyway in my series anyway. I'm already reconsidering the electrokinesis powers. I might change it. Yeah.
So, will we be seeing, like, how Taz became Slash, for lack of, like, a better term? Is
Well,
that.
the original plan was to change him to be more of a centralized character in the next episode, episode 7, which is going to get reworked. I promise you that now. I'm be more than happy to show you my old script for that episode, which I unfortunately did cancel. If you don't
Oh,
mind.
sure, yeah, why not? Get a live reaction going.
Here it is. As the as you can see, the original title of was The Two Sides of Charmy.
I'm very familiar, yeah. That's the name of the episode during the preview in episode 6.
What I like to do is I like write things in a way that, because what I'll do is like I'll be like maybe I didn't write that very well. I'll add stuff to it to make it sound more cohesive. But yeah, most of the thing from the episode preview that I made a while back is still here and accounted for.
I actually have a question about. So, did you completely scrap this script for episode 7 and just wrote a
Yes,
new one?
unfortunately I did. This is completely scrapped. I didn't like.
Would you be willing to like release this and like ask people to make like a fan episode 7 of this using the script? Because I know that there are other series that aren't Sonic related that have had canceled scripts that people just fan animate just because they like the series, and I think giving this like out would be a pretty nice opportunity for people to make fan animations of it.
The problem is I only have 2,000 something subscribers, so there's barely anyone who knows me, so the chances of that happening are very slim to none.
I mean, the thing is I've seen when I was talking about the like those old sprite animations that I found from like 2008 to 2012. One of them references like Charmy being an arsonist. So like that was somebody made like a fan spin-off in a way of your series, and I'd have to go back into my history to get that video. But I think you clearly have fans besides just me.
No. The Charmy being an arsonist thing was not my idea. That was from the original creator of this type of sprite animation, Kudu17. For some reason, when he brought the Chaotix crew into the equation, he made Charmy a pyromaniac for some reason, who carries around a WD-40 and a lighter with him at all times. He turned SBO into basically somewhat similar to his game self, but he's very addicted to this one song called Karma Chameleon. Like, he'll just listen to it like 24/7, not stop, even during nighttime. And Vector would just say random quotes that he has said in video games.
Like about the computer room.
Yeah, that one.
That's classic. That's a fucking
yeah.
Find the computer room is like a classic thing. That's so
Find the
old.
computer room. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, the Charmy B thing wasn't my idea, but what my plan was to make the game, and this is something that will go ahead with, I will say, with the remake, is that I plan to change the characters to be more like their game counterparts a little bit, while keeping keeping some of the original ideas that a lot of these types of animators came up with.
Okay. I guess we can move on now. So in Silver by Zoe, at the end, they go back to their house, and it's like a library auditorium. What was up with that? Was that like, what room in the house is that supposed to be?
I don't know where the hell I was going with that. I was very young when I made that video. It was my first like real sprite video, in massive quotes there. I was looking for like a TV room specifically, and I don't know, that just looked like the best picture for me when I was like 13, maybe even younger. I don't remember.
It's just it was really funny to see them say let's go home and they end up in like a library.
Yeah,
was a
I don't.
very
That was an accident. I honestly didn't put the two together that it was a library, because my dumb mind says, "Oh, this will be perfect." I don't care where the picture originated from. It looks like a TV room.
So Shadow's gun, the big like laser thing that he has, you know what I'm talking about? The
Yes, I know, and I have
is
already have an answer for this one.
okay, yeah. What is this? What is it originally supposed to be? Because I thought it looked like a spaceship.
No, it's actually from a Sonic Flash game I played back in the day. Give me a second, I'll try to find it.
This is just all Sonic Battle. By the
Yeah,
way, I guess while you're still looking for this, I guess I'll talk about when I know the sprites from your videos are from Sonic Advance, at least in the earliest episodes, except for Silver. What I never played Sonic Advance. I had Sonic Battle on my GBA when I was a kid, so I know those sprites as the Sonic Battle sprites, even though I know that they're from Sonic Advance first, which is kind of funny.
Hang on, I'm trying to. I got the game. I'm just gonna do it right
Well,
now.
if you don't mind, I mean, I can. Oh, jeez, that's loud.
That's so
That's
loud.
that
I'm
is
sorry.
so loud. Oh my god, that's so loud.
Hang on, let me see if I can turn it down. I'm sorry.
I could turn it down on Discord. It's fine. But
I gotta turn it down. It's loud as hell.
okay. Well, I assume Shadow has the
Shadow
big gun,
is the only
right?
playable character, if I'm not mistaken.
He's the only playable character.
Because this was a demo, he never finished this, but this is where the sprite I got came from, I think. I'm doing my job, Sonic. I'm not gonna do the voice. And then Sonic's like, hey, dude, let me show you this cool card game, and then he has Maria and Gerald cards for some reason.
What?
Give me a break.
What was it? It was Gerald Kintober, right? That's from Sonic Adventure 2. Is that his last name?
Gerald Robotnik.
I thought it was Gerald Kintober.
No, it was always Gerald. Hit me, you fool. Then you click attack. Yeah, it's just a simple little RPG.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very short. Don't worry, I can get this done pretty quick.
Does Maria summon the big gun?
I will warn you, if you're planning on showing this on your channel, you're gonna have to mute this.
Because of the audio?
It's playing Final Fantasy music.
Well, I don't think that's copyrighted. That's like video game music. Is that on the
copyright claimed?
That's crazy.
That's where what?
So Maria, so he does like a.
Here you go.
That's like a whole. Wait, that's like a whole. Whoa. Okay. What?
It's basically like an energy cannon.
I don't even. I don't know if that's an original sprite or not, but that's crazy.
That's where I saw it the first time in game, in something. I have the sheet if you're interested.
I mean, sure, send it if you want. I was thinking that big gun was from like a shmup or something.
Yeah, but no, it's meant to be an energy cannon. Then you. Yeah,
oh my god, dude! The aspect ratio of those pictures, dude, that is
This reeks of like early.
That's so awesome. Well, I just realized I think those renders are from Sonic Rivals on the PSP.
Yeah, they are.
I have Sonic Rivals 2, and I don't have Sonic Rivals 1 on my PSP.
Never had a PSP. Only Sonic games I really have yet to like play fully, if you know what I mean.
That's Sonic Rivals isn't particular. I don't remember. I think it's like a racing game. It's like a 2.5D racing game. Oh, dude, I'm hyped. October 2007. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess with that question out of the way, I can move to the question before it. So, in Silver Burns the House Down, Sonic is driving Shadow's car. Was that just because you forgot it was Shadow's car? I thought that was weird because it's supposed to be Shadow's car, and it's clearly like red and black, so it's supposed to be Shadow's car, but Sonic's in the driver's seat.
I don't think I ever mentioned whose car it was, so... Maybe both of theirs, like, they, like, alternate every now and then, like, say, for example, they share the car.
Well, I mean, it gets destroyed, it gets destroyed anyway later, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but, I think I mentioned this in the video, but, I can ask the question here. So, is there, like, a reason why Shadow hates Silver so much that we don't, like, see as the audience, or that we're not aware of yet?
this is also something Kudu17, the original creator of the sprite video type, came up with. I think it was mostly due to the fact that when Silver was first like shown off, and then Sonic 06 came out, most people hated him a
Hmm.
lot. So what I think Kudu did was made Shadow his was basically make Shadow into a bully of Silver as an excuse to beat him up constantly, as like to say, hey, the game you're in sucks, get beaten up on.
I guess on that line of thought, so which Sonic games are canon to the Hedgehog show? If you've ever given it any like real thought.
Not really per se. When I made that reference to Sonic Heroes in episode 2, I just came in off the cuff of just saying, I guess it depends really on how I'm feeling. Maybe one day I'll say, maybe I'll make a canon to the games, and maybe another day, maybe I'll make it my own thing. But if I don't make a canon to some things, wouldn't make any sense. So maybe, yeah, probably. I'm not sure.
Well, like which games? Is it just like, uh, is it up to Sonic Heroes? Like, at what's the cutoff point for like which games are canon? Is what I was sort of asking.
I wouldn't. I don't think there would be a cutoff point, because I do plan on putting up Sonic Frontiers as new moves from Sonic Frontiers into my series, because I loved the combat in that game
Mhm.
quite a bit.
What is your opinion on like them trying to make Sonic villains just like super edgy and have like over the top designs? Because I've never like it started out with Neo Metal Sonic, and I think Neo Metal Sonic is cool, but then it turned into like then they brought Mephiles in, and then they have Infinite and Forces, and it's just it's trying too hard. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Uh, you're gonna have to give me a second on that one. I'm more
Mephiles?
in, I'm more in the mindset of, dude, people love Mephiles these days. They liked his design quite a bit, and I have to agree. I just wish he had more to do than just fuck around with Shadow.
Well, I mean, he literally just looks like Purple Shadow with red eyes. But I mean, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I understand if you like are not into that type of stuff. Like, I am a huge fan of. I mean, some people, it's just yeah, it's tastes. I completely agree.
I mean,
Because
when you look at Sonic Lost World, I like the villains in Lost World because they're not like super edgy. Like they're not Mephiles. You're not gonna see Mephiles in Lost World. I prefer it when the villains of the Sonic games are not trying super hard to be like epic badasses. I like Eggman. I think Eggman and Metal Sonic are like peak Sonic villains.
yeah, I agree. There will always be classics in my eyes, and if you ask me, the newest one, Sage from Sonic Frontiers, is honestly not that bad.
Yeah, no, it's because she's not like trying to be like a super epic badass. It's just like a little girl. It's like whatever. Oh, so in the Hedgehog show, is did Shadow survive the events of Sonic Adventure 2, or is he an android?
Nope, he did indeed survive.
Okay, I just
Because
want
I never liked the Shadow Android thing and Shadow the Hedgehog. I just don't like that game in general.
I think Sonic Heroes I don't know. I think it's a neat thing, but it really just feels like they're trying to take Metal Sonic's arc and then just put it on Shadow. I don't know. I don't know how to really feel about Shadow, the whole android thing with Shadow. I like Shadow the Hedgehog's like story. The whole thing is like who am I? And I like that. The problem is that Shadow the Hedgehog sucks as a game. So, considering Sonic Heroes is canon, what and like Metal Sonic's whole character arc is canon by proxy, what is Metal's motivation and Silver gets kidnapped? Like, why did he do that?
Uh, well, like I said before, all these were scripted on the fly, so I don't know. I guess I just wanted a kidnap story, just because like before, I made all this with no planning whatsoever, so I don't know. I just thought like making a story about someone being kidnapped, and my first thought was like, oh, Metal Sonic, because he might have a grudge against Sonic, so to troll him, he might say, hey, I'll kidnap Server just because he didn't get to put up a fight.
Well, I mean you watched my video essay. I talked about how I had like a little jokey theory that that Metal Sonic wanted to be the fourth hedgehog of the house or something, or the
Yeah,
third
I heard
hedgehog,
that, and I was
and
like, what?
that's
I was like,
funny.
what?
It's
I
not really
mean, and
serious, but that's funny.
I know that is kind of funny in retrospect, but no, I would never have Metal Sonic and Sonic Shadow and Silver the Safe House. The amount of bickering that I would have to write for that to make sense would be ridiculous. Yeah,
So
yeah, that's fine.
why does Metal Sonic take Silver to the back of McDonald's instead of the trash pit like he originally planned?
Simple. I couldn't find a picture. It would be easier to put sprites in than a huge open area than in a back alley than in a big area with a ton of junk everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the last Metal Sonic question. So, can we as an audience can I expect to see more Metal Sonic in future episodes?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I love the character too, and there's definitely something I can go with. I definitely something I can go with that. I don't have anything in my mind right now, but yeah, I could definitely do something with Metal Sonic, no problem.
Um. Okay, so this is another like lore or like just sort of story related question. So does Shadow own the Awesome Bombs factory, or does he just have some of their bombs? Because I notice when Silver blows up the house, it's Shadow's Awesome Bomb, and then he has like the stun bomb, and then there's the Awesome Bombs factory. Is that like Shadow's own business?
Oh, I don't know remember what I was going for with that. I can tell you. It was going to be a plot line with Charmy that I was planning on making it to where he put that awesome bomb in there, disguised it as Shadow's bomb, as like a prank or something. I don't know. I was going to go somewhere with that, but I canned it pretty early on. I was like, I'm too lazy to do this.
I mean that's pretty interesting to think that you were thinking about the whole Charmy plot line of like that far ahead.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. I just really wanted to do something with Charmy because he was pretty funny to like turn him into a pyromaniac. But yeah,
is there a reason why Shadow uses a knockout bomb on Charmy instead of just using like a chaos ability?
imagine
Okay.
trying to animate something very complex like that in the Paint, into Microsoft Paint. It would be a nightmare. So
Okay.
I was under a time crunch actually because I was doing this for like a school like video showcase they were doing at the time. So I was a time crunch. So I'm like, I'll just use a bomb.
In Sonic to the Future, these are questions relating to that. So why does Shadow specifically drive a Ford Mustang? Like he really talks about how much he loves his Ford Mustang and how much he loves driving his Ford Mustang. And he's very upset that Silver destroyed his Ford Mustang. Did you just think like Ford Mustangs were cool at the time?
It's actually a little bit more involved. Before I go into that, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson on Sonic to the Future, where I was going with that. So around that time, I first watched the movies Back to the Future, which are fantastic films, by the way. Have you ever seen them?
I haven't seen
So
them though.
I
So
wanted. You're missing out big time, dude. Great movies from the '80s. Anyway, so I wanted to make an episode dedicated to the Back to the Future. So, yeah. I am surprised you didn't ask a question about that shitty arm I drew.
well, there's not really a question I can ask. You wrote a comment saying that you made it in like a couple seconds.
Yeah,
So
like I said, I'm not a spriter, and I was less of a spriter even then.
well, I mean it's no problem. I thought it was funny. It didn't take away from the video at all.
I guess it was me trying to do like a speakerphone thing where you're like holding your phone towards your face and like a speaker formation where you're not putting it towards your ears but your face. I guess that and I guess it was trying to be the elbow, but it looked so. I did not mean for it to be such an extreme 90-degree angle.
But so why does Shadow drive specifically a Ford Mustang? I just is it
Simple.
just
I liked Ford Mustangs
okay?
back in the day.
I just okay. That's
I
what I
don't
was
know. I just
guessing.
thought they looked awesome.
This is, I think this
Can
is
you
like the
hang on
last
one
question
second?
here.
Hang on one second. Someone's asking for my help on something.
Shadow takes 6 hours to leave his house to kill Silver. What happens in between Sonic, like time traveling? I don't understand. Like, why did it take him 6 hours to leave the house?
Again, me just trying to pass the time, not realizing that maybe 6 hours was a little too long. Maybe I should have said like 10 minutes or something.
Okay. I mean, in the
And you
in
gotta remember, it's a time travel episode, so does it really matter how long it takes? I was originally going to do this thing where once they traveled in time, they were going to see that Shadow went to jail, and Shadow regrets his actions because he got put in jail. So he asked them to like go back in time and stop him before he kills Silver in cold blood.
Mhm, mhm.
But I canned that idea because again, time constraints. Because also was gonna plan this for another school thing, but didn't. I didn't submit it in time, which sucks. It's the and fun fact, if you notice in the video, there's times where like the audio cuts out temporarily. The video was originally going to have cursing, but I censored it at like the last minute.
I didn't even notice that. So it's, I mean,
Where
that's
like,
some good trivia. But so in Silver Buys a Switch, there's like a callback to how long Silver and Sonic were in the GameStop and Silver Buys a Wii. Will we at any point see like a reference to how Shadow took 6 hours to leave his house to like kill Silver? I made a joke in my video where it's like Silver Shadow has to like build the resolve to do it. Is that like some kind of joke you want to make in the future or anything like that? Any sort of
that probably won't happen, sadly.
so in the newest intro for the Hedgehog Show, which I think this is talking about the episode 7 preview that you uploaded, but
Yes, it is.
there's a lot of previously unseen Sonic characters that appear at the end. Can we like expect to see characters like SBO in the future?
Yes, I do indeed plan on adding more characters to my series just to like improve the like I don't know what word I'm going for with this. Just to like all I know is that yes, I do indeed plan on adding more characters to the series, make it a little bit more involved and have more like character plots and stuff because like I said before, I plan on getting rid of a lot of character stereotypes that have appeared in these types of videos just to
Mm-hmm.
like make it a little bit more coherent.
Does that mean that we're not going to be seeing a Shadow beating up Silver? Is that going to be a gone thing?
Oh no, I do indeed plan on Shadow mocking Silver a bit, but I'm planning on lessening it to a degree.
Well, in the Sega Board of Directors meeting short, the flashback scene that foreshadows the events of Episode 6 takes place in like a theater. So was Sonic originally supposed to be like held in a theater instead of the abandoned parking garage?
Yes, I think that indeed was the plan, but then I'm like, um, and remember when I'm saying thinking questions, I'm my thought of thinking back then. I'm guessing was thinking like, but what if someone comes in, sees what's going on, and calls the police?
Mm-hmm.
Because theaters are public places after all. That wouldn't make any sense. I guess I just wanted an open area that was easy to like animate in. So that's what I did. I put him in a theater, and then I changed it to a parking garage that was abandoned because not only would that be a lot easier in terms of like lore consistency, but it's still a nice open area that I can animate in. That video, the Sega Board of Directors meeting short I made, that was supposed to come out I think a couple days after the announcement of Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. But I have a condition. It's called procrastination that should not have taken that long to make something that short.
I didn't even like cross reference the release dates or the premieres of Sonic Mania and Forces to that
Yeah, it
video's release date, but
it came out in October. It should have come out in July.
oh man, that's crazy. But I mean on that line of thinking about that flashback scene, considering how old the Sega Board of Directors meeting short is, how long was the script for episode 6 like just around before you actually finished the video?
Oh, this you're finally getting to episode 6. I thank you because this is probably the biggest story I could probably tell you in terms of like where my line of thinking was because as you could see, I scrapped the entirety of what I was working on at the time and completely redid the whole episode from scratch. And unlike the original one, which took like 2 years to get to where it was before I canned it, I finished the episode 6 you see now in about 3 months. Because one, I already had a plotline set up, so I just reused that for the most part, but rewriting a ton of stuff. And two, eh, I since I knew where I wanted to go with this, I knew how it should go and everything, and plus I had a ton of free time. That was around the time when COVID-19 started, so
Mhm.
my thought process was like, hey, now that I have this free time, now that I don't have to go to work, I might as well actually finish this damn thing, and I did. And it's easily one of my longest videos of all time, and definitely one I'm still proud of, even to this day.
It's a very good episode. It's one of the best. I really
It,
enjoyed it.
it
I had to cut out a lot for my video essay, but the stuff I cut out was stuff that I really liked, and I wanted to make sure that like I'm gonna cut a bunch out so that people are encouraged to just watch the original because I think it's you clearly put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, it was mostly just made out of passion for me, and plus I guess I just got into a rhythm of just I really miss this because
Hmm.
from around that time I took a huge break from YouTube around 2018 2020, and I needed it because it helped me refresh a bit. And after that I took another few months off because that was like I said, about 3 maybe 4 months of work nonstop every day, just working on the video
Hmm.
because I really wanted to get it done because it's been years at that point. And now I'm actually taking the time, trying to actually take YouTube seriously. If you were to look at my social blade, you'll know that after I started uploading my mod videos, my subscriber count exploded quite a little bit. It was like around 300 for like the longest time, and then when I started making daily vids for a while, my subscribers went up and up and up. And yes, that's the reason why. Yeah, it was like 300 for like a while. And then I started taking YouTube serious really around 2020. And yeah, I mean, I don't upload daily anymore because it's hell. But hey, sometimes I might because I might be feeling okay for a daily vid, or I'm working on a bigger video altogether, like the sprite animations. Those take
Hmm.
time.
Well, it's clear that they take a lot of time. I
Yeah,
can
I
tell,
know,
especially now that you're doing like proper animation.
but I can tell you certain things that I changed if you don't mind.
Um,
Don't worry,
I
this
mean,
won't take long.
if you really, yeah, sure, why not?
It's not trust me, it's not much. And so in the scene when Dr. Eggman was trying to trick Sonic into eating a chili dog in the original episode, I had him actually fall for it. The chili dog was gonna have something in it that was gonna knock Sonic out, like you would in like a, I don't know if there's like a food or like a type of substance that you can consume to knock yourself out in
Hmm.
an instant. But yeah, that's originally was the plan. Then when I went back and rewrote when I back and redid everything, I was like, Sonic would never fall for something this unbelievably stupid. So I changed it to him not falling for it, but instead having Dr. Eggman have a backup plan of him distracting him with a robot and then him stunning him while he was getting cocky.
Well, I like that scene. That the scene that you made is a lot. That sounds a lot better, and it is a lot better than what you originally planned. I'd
Yeah,
say.
I did not like at all where that was originally. And yeah, here, let me see if I can't find like pictures from that original project. Nope, I did indeed delete them. Never mind. Some of them I definitely cannot recover, sorry.
That's fine. That's whatever. Yeah, it's fine.
When Shadow actually finds out that he was tricked, I originally was gonna have Eggman just flee and then mention a project that I called Plan Zelta. What that was going to be was just the events of Sonic Forces because I really did not like spriting at that time and I just really wanted to stop. So
Hmm.
when I went back and redid everything, I added more scenes to explain why the letter and all that and stuff, and added the door scene with Tails, and finally the new scene in between. I mean, the new scene where Shadow is battling a bunch of egg robos to like the amount of time that took to make was absurd.
Well,
Here,
hold that thought about it because I actually have a question about that I'd like to get
oh,
to
I
in a bit, but I have a few more questions. Okay, so I mean, early into episode 6, when Shadow finds the note, he acts like he knows it's a trick by Eggman, and yet later he acts as if he didn't know. Was this on purpose, just to like show Shadow being cocky?
I don't mean to sound rude, but that was never the intention. The intent. I don't know how you got that. He thought that he knew it was a trick. He really thought it was a trick. He really thought Sonic was telling the truth with
Well, I
that
thought
note.
when he reads the note, he says something like, "This has got to be the stupidest plan Eggman's come up with yet," and he just doesn't do anything about it. I assumed that it was just because Shadow had confidence that Sonic was just going to get out of it.
Hang on, I do not remember that. Hey, can you give me 1 second while I look back at that? Because when I'm looking at it, that's not what I hear. Oh, there we go. He was commenting on how Shadow's Eggman's plan wasn't original. I never intended on that to be the theming there, but yeah, I could see where you could get that, but no.
I was thinking about it just now. It might be that I misinterpreted. He might have been commenting on the whole comment in the note talking about how Eggman's doing some stuff with the wisps in space again.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
indeed that's where I
okay.
was going with that because that's already happened before. Of course, Shadow was going to comment that that's something he already did.
All right. Well, I guess that's just me misinterpreting it originally. So I mean, that's good to clarify because I thought there was a weird like just a continuity or just some kind of error with the episode. But you know, that's what.
I just remembered something. When
Mhm.
you were looking at my videos, I noticed you missed one.
Did I miss
It
one?
Yeah, you did, unfortunately. Here, let me bring it up real quick. Here, let me at least show you it anyway right now, just so I don't
Oh,
forget
the
later.
remastered one.
Yeah,
I didn't comment
this
on it.
the original video was deleted, so you kind of missed this as a result.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I apologize. I was going to tell you in like a
That's crazy. I didn't even know. I didn't know about this.
By the way, where is Silver? I haven't seen him all
Don't worry,
day.
it's not that long.
Silver is out getting a Christmas tree for us to put in the living room. Well, I hope he gets here soon. Hey guys, open the door. I'm back. Oh look, he is back now. Okay, Silver, I will get the door. Well, what do you think of the Christmas tree?
It's a whole different
Wow,
door.
it's awesome. Let's get it in
That's why I made that joke about the door keep changing because it's happened a couple times.
the living room.
Yeah, that joke that kind of flew over my head because I thought you only changed it like
Now that the
once.
tree is up, let's go to bed.
Yeah, it happened
Good
multiple
idea,
times.
Sonic. I can't wait to get presents from Santa. I hope that Santa.
And this is where the pink bikini joke comes into play.
Oh.
Bikini. Ha ha ha. Oh really? You better take those words back or I will shoot you.
Why'd you delete this if it like sets up jokes that you make later?
I'll be honest, I don't remember when I deleted it. I might have deleted it by accident.
Oh. That would have explained. I just thought the pink bikini thing was like how Amy was talking about like some flashback stuff.
But no, it was Silver just making a joke.
A callback to this. Okay.
Let's all go
I'll have to include this in the sequel.
Yeah, that it's fine, dude. No problem whatsoever. I mean, I can understand why you would miss this.
Oh,
In fact,
I didn't look at the remastered video because it was like, okay, well these are already videos I've covered and talked about. There's not really a reason to go into this one.
it's not really a remaster. All I did was just use YouTube's editing tool at the time, which allowed you to change the colors, and I thought this looked nicer than the old version, so I made them look a little bit more vibrant. When in reality, yeah, it doesn't look that much different. It just looks better in terms of colors.
Oh my god, it is a Nintendo 3DS. I wanted this for a long time now. I will go next.
Ignore the awful
Oh my God,
JPEGing.
it is a new
Well, that's
gun.
awesome.
This
It's
gun looks so awesome.
oh, that's the gun that's in
Oh my
the battle
God,
game, but it's like not upgraded.
decorations.
Yeah.
Wow, Santa gave us very good presents this year. I am going to play my new Nintendo 3DS. I am going to test out my new gun. I am going to play Sonic Generations.
Yeah, so yeah, that was it. It was really short.
That's well, that's good to know. I'll be sure to talk about that
Alright.
in the sequel. But
Fine,
okay.
don't worry about it. Actually, if you can also add this too to your sequel,
Mhm.
there are a couple of episodes that are missing that I deleted because I hated them.
Ah, they're just
Unfortunately,
gone.
I do not have the videos files anymore, but I do remember how they went in a certain way.
Yeah.
unfortunately. Those are lost to time.
That's lost Hedgehog Show media. That's probably never going to be found because I don't imagine many people archived it. So that's unfortunate. But I'll be sure to talk about those videos in my sequel.
And if I remember of any more, because I think there's one I forgot. Like I think it was the first video I've ever made, which was me just explaining what this channel was about. But that's it.
Mm-hmm. I assume that's when
Like,
channel trailers like just started being a
it
thing.
was even before channel trailers. Even it was just it was just me explaining, and plus my OC at the time, which was like I said, a green
There's
Sonic.
Gonic,
Yeah.
classic Gonic. Yeah. So, what was the process of animating Shadow's battle with the Eggman's robots? Because I thought that was very impressive for something that was made in Sony Vegas.
Uh, well, as I probably have brought up already, I didn't animate it in Vegas. I made it frame by frame in Photoshop.
Well, it's fine. I mean, I feel like you already went into it enough. I don't really like that's it's cool to see.
I understand. It's fine.
Okay. So there's still a couple more episode 6 questions, but so late into episode 6, Sonic confirms that the Sonic movie is like canon as a film in universe. Does that mean that like Mobius is fictional in the Hedgehog Show, like they're on Earth and Mobius is like a piece of fiction?
Yes. Well, I only did that mostly as like a little reference to the fact that a Sonic movie was coming out around the time that that animation was being worked on. Yes, I do indeed consider, and because recent Sonic Frontiers does confirm that they are indeed on Earth and not Two Worlds Bowl.
Earlier, you already answered this question, but at the end of episode 6, there's a preview of episode 7. Will episode 7 still follow the established plotline from the preview?
As I said earlier, I already canned those ideas because I know I'm gonna probably keep the general idea of that plotline, but I am gonna make significant changes to it.
Mhm. Okay, well that sort of answers the other question I had, but was Slash always meant to be a part of episode 7?
Uh, it was mainly an excuse to reintroduce that character, Taz slash Slash. I think the only idea reason why I wanted to change the name because I thought Taz was, and no offense, a stupid name because, like I said earlier, I based it off Tasmanian Devil just because I thought Taz was a cool name, but I thought
Mm-hmm.
Slash was a better name.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he was gonna have a significant advantage against Charmy with his electrokinesis powers, which makes no sense whatsoever. It would have made more sense if he had hydrokinesis.
Mm-hmm.
Because Charmy was gonna split into two personalities. One that was the game Charmy that we all know and kind of love, and the other part was gonna be the pyromaniac version of Charmy, but in because of those feelings and emotions, he was gonna actually have fire powers.
That's pretty interesting, but
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what the new episode 7 is going to be since you're
probably
canning the
won't
old
be for a
one.
couple of years. I'm sorry in advance.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Because
that's sort of unfortunate. I
animation
mean,
takes times.
yeah. But then we're on like the last couple questions now. So at the GameStop in Silver buys a Switch, there
Yeah.
are a bunch of Sonic OCs waiting in line. Are these collaborators that you've worked with or friends of yours?
Yes and no. Yes, as in I was having a little bit of a you see around this time I was on Discord quite a bit and
Mhm.
I was on this Sonic server, the Sonic spriting community server that no longer a part of because the owner there's one person in particular that I don't really appreciate anymore because he's known to be taking advantage of people and when I realized I'm like, yep, that's not good. I'm leaving this community immediately.
Mm.
Just it was the creator of the server, by the way. No one in particular. Everyone that I have talked to about collaborating on this video were chill as hell, and I cannot thank them enough for their help on getting some nice little OCs as like a little bit of a cameo just to help me out, fill that line in a bit.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I talk to a lot of them still in certain cases, so yeah, that is also the case. Some I don't, but some I do. I don't know, remember which ones in particular, but I know I talked to you. I don't want to talk to anyone in particular, mainly because you probably don't know who I'm referring to.
Yeah, no, I don't even know any of the characters' names, even though I think they say some of
I
them.
Z- yeah, I have mentioned. Yes, I do have them sorted out by name in certain occasions. I should probably talk to them sometime. They're chill people. Anyway, I talk to a lot of people. Like there's this other YouTuber that I recommend called Roofix Legacy Productions, who it has easily the person I talk to the most for like to like conversate. You don't
Mhm.
have to put this in your video, by the way. I just want to
That's
talk in
fine.
general.
Hmm.
And he has probably been the chillest guy I've ever talked to in a while. It's gotten to the point where we actually been in voice chats once in a while, and we recently played on Minecraft, which was pretty fun to do.
That's pretty
I love,
cool.
yeah, I like Minecraft. They recently released a Sonic the Hedgehog texture pack on the Bedrock edition. It's really cool.
Mm.
And
Um,
there's also this other guy called Sun.mpeg or whatever his name is. I can never remember. He runs a channel called the Maple Riot, and he's
oh,
really big.
no way! No way! Wait,
Yes,
you know Maple Riot?
yes, I do.
That's fucking crazy.
He was making. Let me tell you. So I saw his video on his version of a Sonic Shadow and Silver show series, and oh my god, his animation skills are far and beyond way better than anything I could comprehend.
That's
I
insane.
immediately got in contact with him to let him know that that was amazing. And I don't and he's been and he's a swell guy. I mean, every now and then when I need help with something, he's been more than willing to help me out. So, if you ever I cannot thank him enough for not only helping me get into Adobe Animate, but seriously, if it wasn't for him, I never would have tried it to begin with. So, yeah.
That's really cool. I would have never expected that. That is really
You'd be
cool.
surprised at how small world it is when you just contact people on Discord.
Wow.
Because yeah, he's way bigger than me in terms of animation skills and channel because of his Kirby,
Yeah, his Kirby
pretty
thing. I
much
only
Kirby
really know
stuff.
him because of his Kirby thing, but that's
But
just insane.
before his channel exploded from that, he was working on a. He has his own Sonic Shadow and Silver show series, which you should watch. He recently posted a video, where I think Sonic gets money stolen by Being the Dynamite, and he fights him. It was pretty funny,
I
really
might.
beautiful.
I mean, I want to make a video talking about other like Hedgehog show like a series, so I'll definitely do that in like the follow up, talking about
Like I,
stuff
s-
like that.
yeah, like I said, I think after this interview's over, I'll send you some channel recommendations because if you need some OG stuff, you can count on me easily because I know I've been around for years.
With that question out of the way, can we expect to see any of the characters that were in line in future episodes in like the background, maybe, or are they
You
just
mean
sort
in the
of
intro?
not in the intro, but in like I don't know, like in like the background of a scene as like just like people walking around and stuff. I don't know.
Probably not. Mainly just because I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, the people waiting in line in Silver buys a
Oh,
Switch,
oh.
all those
I only
characters.
did that as like a one-time thing because I just really appreciated the new friends I was making at the time.
Hmm.
So I wanted to be nice and like have people just show up in my video as a nice gesture. Maybe one day if I like find something that will work for them. I mean, probably, but probably not anytime soon. Like maybe not the first season of my series.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to keep things simple to start off.
Do you still use Speakonia or do you use a
Oh
different
God,
program
yes.
now? Okay, I'm actually that was actually kind of surprising that you answered yes to that because Speakonia is like you have to download that off of like CNET and Internet Archive.
No, actually, you can download it off the original creator's website. The only reason I like Speakonia is because I just find it a little bit more convenient. The only problem is I use a 4K monitor, so it's really hard to see because it doesn't scale well.
Well, I mean that's it's that program's definitely like really old. I think like the videos that inspired you probably used it, so I don't imagine it's
Yeah,
really up to date. And I don't know if there's any program similar to it. There definitely might be, but I don't know if they're at all like updated. You know, because I think most people just go on their browser to find stuff like that. So the official Hedgehog Show playlist on your channel, I noticed I specifically point out it's missing a lot of videos, specifically like all of the earliest ones. It just sort of, I mean, I understand putting the newer ones in there, but I feel like you need to have the older videos for context, especially for videos like Silver buys a Switch.
Yeah, that's on me, just forgetting to put those there.
No, it's
I
whatever. I'm not like upset or anything. I was just wondering if that was on purpose or if it was just a little mistake.
Yeah, no, that's entirely an accident. I keep forgetting to put them on there.
Is Sonic Reacts? I know that like I didn't watch too much of it, but is Sonic Reacts part of the like lore of the Hedgehog Show?
Yeah, no. I only reason I made that series was just because I might as well make a series to like show people what I think of like certain things that are happening in the Sonic community, Sonic official stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, the first episode, which was based on the movie trailers, I was really excited for the second movie. It's a really good film, in my personal opinion.
Before I go on to the last question, I actually do want to take a step back and ask a couple more specific like game canonicities. Is Knuckles Chaotix canon to the Hedgehog Show? Like, will we see Knuckles hanging out with the Chaotix at any point?
Uh, Unfortunately, Sega does not consider Knuckles Chaotix canon, so probably not. But I would probably have them hanging out a bit.
And I
Don't
guess if
ask me
Knuckles
why.
Chaotix, I guess if Knuckles Chaotix isn't canon, that means that like I guess the Chaotix aren't really a group. Besides, I guess Sonic Heroes has Team
Yeah, Sonic
Chaotix.
Heroes is what makes them canon to me.
Well, the problem with the Chaotix and Sonic Heroes is that it's entirely missing like Mighty. That's my big contention with the whole like chaotic the new Chaotix is that they just Mighty is just gone.
Plus. And if it's supersonic, that cap increases obviously to probably this somewhat close to the speed of light, but I have no idea.
Well, I mean, this was fun talking. I think I
Yeah,
gotta go in a second. But do you
yeah,
have
I've got to
anything?
go eat dinner.
You have any like
Uh,
last minute things you want to say about whatever?
I get. Let me. Sure. First of all, I would like to thank you for you making a video about my content, even after all these years of working on YouTube videos as like a hobby, just to screw around and have fun. I'm happy that you found my videos and enjoyed them as as a kid. I appreciate that immensely, dude. So Matt, I'm very humbled by the video immensely. So if there's anything to take away from this interview, that is easily my biggest one.
I'm really excited to see you continue to work on it
Yeah,
and see where the story goes. Because I mean, the story. I know it's like I feel like in my little video essay, I kind of play up the fact that there is a story at all, just because it's a little bit funny. Because clearly you didn't really imagine any sort of continuity or any like serious continuity in mind when it comes to this the kind of thing. But it's fun to, interpret things with continuity in mind.
yeah.